Nama Himalaya, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Creator Show. So today on the panel we have the lovely Alicia.
Namaste, everyone.
We have the beautiful Pretty.
Namaste, everyone.
And the amazing Alice.
Oh, namaste. Thank you.
These are our beautiful wealth yogis who have been here for 3 months with us, and it was their last day yesterday, and it's like, no, it's gone so quickly. So today we're going to talk about the 3 things that could be blocking your manifestations. So who would like to start? I think I will pass it to Alice to get us. Yeah, she's seeing. The eye contact was there. So yeah, I think like for the first thing, blocking the manifestation would be like people not being able to let go.
Yeah.
Let go of something, you know, they hold on to that manifestation, they don't want to let it go. So it's like they're constantly like, say like if they wanted a text from somebody, they'd constantly be looking at the phone, why haven't they text, and actually that text gets further away, you know, when they don't think of it, then actually the text comes, isn't it?
Exactly. It's so important to actually detach and let go. Like when you're, like you just said with that example, when you're picking up that phone and you're looking to see where is that text, what vibration are you actually in there? Because, you know, at that point you're in the vibration of there is no text there.
Yeah.
And that's what you manifest, because remember that we are always manifesting, always. So if you're in that vibration of there is no text, when is it coming? That's what you're putting out. And you often find the moment you do let go, the moment you shift your focus to somewhere else, things just fall into place. Things just align beautifully when you have no expectations, when you set your intention, but then you surrender it and you let it go and you be and you flow, everything actually comes to you. Because also when you're expecting something to come in a certain way, you block off seeing it from every other direction.
Yeah, so true, because you have the expectation of what's coming, so you're attached to the outcome of it. So it's like it doesn't come that way. You just literally have to, like Master says, like set it and forget it.
Yeah,
like,
and then be open.
Yeah, to receive.
Be aware, because it will line up. It will also come in a sequence. The universe is divine, obviously, and far greater than us. So who are we to think how it will deliver what we ask for?
Yeah, so true.
If you let go, you're open to so much more, and it will happen in a way that is beautiful. From my experience, it's just amazing and far beyond what you could ever imagine.
It's so true, because when it comes, you're kind of like,
wow,
you're good. You're so good. Like it's
I
literally
bow.
I bow universe. Like it comes in like miraculous ways. It's like I didn't know this was going to happen. Like I thought it had gone, because you forget about it, and then it just pops up out of the blue, and you're like, oh my god, there it is.
Yeah, which is so relevant to the last 3 months, and I'm sure we can all resonate. Like for me personally, the last 3 months I've spent thinking, oh my gosh, I actually thought about that and manifested that 6 months ago, and now it's here. But because here we're forced to live in the moment, because there's so much thrown at us, we're forced to just be present, and you find everything comes to you. When you let go, you're fully present. Everything that you've ever wanted comes, because you're just in alignment with right now.
Yes,
That is so true. I'll give you an example. At Manifesting Miracles, me and Alice was there, and obviously as part of the process you manifest what you want, right?
Yeah.
And I had just said, I want us to win an award, and that was it. I completely detached from it. I know I wrote it down, I know I wanted it, didn't think anything about it. I got an award being here. Can you believe that? And I did not have any expectation for it. I wanted it. It was like a wish. Boop, gone. You know.
Yes.
But there have been times, and these girls know, where I really want something, and it's like, has it happened? Has it happened? Has it happened? And it's so not happening.
Still waiting.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
It's literally that.
Yeah.
And you know, being here for 3 months, really come to understand that, even though it's difficult to, first I couldn't get my head around it. I was just like, I am detaching, I am letting go. No, because I'm thinking about it. I think that's the main thing, because it's the back of my mind. And just because you're not thinking about it subconsciously, you may still have something that's linked to it. I realize that now, and being in the practice of letting go, I think, is what the way you actually let go. So, yeah.
So beautifully, and it's so true, because it's like you learn so much being here, because like Alice said, you do have to be in the present, because you know you're up early doing yoga in the morning, then you go straight into your working day, you have your open portals at the end, and it's like, really, like, where's the time to think? Because it's so like boom, 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 boom throughout the day, you don't have that time to think. So it's kind of like, this is when manifestations actually can come quicker, because we're not thinking about it. You know, we've set what the intention, we wrote it down, and then, you know, what's the saying, you know, like, you can only connect the dots looking back. And that's exactly like, once you come, you're like, you get the book out and you're like, oh my God, that manifestation happened, that happened. And it's like, it's so surreal that it just blows you away, doesn't it? Like, literally. So what's your views on it, Alicia?
Yeah, I connect with Preeti that say sometimes it's like a wish. Who are the best manifester? It's kids, because they have wish all the time. They stay in that high vibration, and they can manifest. We used to script, right?
Yes.
So we used to script our intention. And we can make it in a way that it sounds like a wish. So we can let it go, but also then we have to ground it, because now we need to understand that we need to ground the energy to make that happen. So I really connected with Preeti. Sometimes it's a wish to stay in a high vibration, but grounded, and then the next step is to take aligned action.
Yes.
Not just wish and pray the universe, which is very beautiful, but sometimes we know that we need to take action. And I really connected to let that expectation, because everything is energy. Okay, in the is right. So when it's like this, right? The frequency. And when we focus on just being, but we attach to something, the energy polarize, and the energy is not more flowing. But if we stuck the energy, it cannot happen, right? Because the energy needs to move all the time. So that's why it's so important to let it go, not to touch the expectation, because otherwise you block the energy. The energy is not flowing no more.
Yeah.
And it cannot happen. To me, is it's one of the thing that I learned, to let it go, no expectations, to set the intention like a wish, like a Christmas wish.
Yes, Christmas wish, or birthday wish, blow out the candles, forget.
And then ground the energy. We know Master is, we give a lot of tools to ground.
Yes.
And then to take a line action
That's
without be attached to this, because our manifestation can come in every way. No?
Yeah.
Not
You
just
don't know which way it's going to come, who's going to be the parcel person that's going to deliver it. So,
but if you can trust, magic happen. Trust me, magic happen.
Yes. Trust. So that was point number 1, is to let go. So number 2, I think, is going to be ego for us, because ego is such a big thing that we don't realize how much ego actually blocks our manifestations. So we was actually discussing this earlier before we started the show. So, and we have actually had a realization ourselves as to how big it actually goes, and how much it plays on the manifestation. So also comment in the chat below and let us know your views on how to let go on ego and your thoughts on there, because we always love to know your views as well. So I'm going to pass this one to our beautiful Preeti first.
Oh, this topic is being I think my biggest thing, learning things during this 3 months, because when I came in thinking, ego, I'm not arrogant, I'm not egoistic, I'm just pretty. But
I'm just pretty.
but I've come to realize actually ego is a lot more than that. And I mean, we were talking about the firewalk, right?
Yes.
So when I was walking on the firewalk, I thought, oh, I'm nearly to the end. I didn't get kiss. Oh, I got a kiss. And then the second time I am one with the fire, and I got the kiss again. I was like, I'm not with the fire. Oh, I'm not with the fire. And I went through. Because I wasn't thinking too much about it. And I wasn't, I think for me, one of the things I've come to realize is actually you can't get rid of ego. Ego is part of you.
Yes.
What you need to do is acknowledge it. And the moment it starts coming up, you move away, you take your attention away and not focus on it. And that isn't actually an easy practice, but it can be done, because where I was 3 months ago to where I am now, I can catch myself when it comes.
Yes.
We still have our moments, but at least you can catch yourself. And like Alice was saying, if you've got ego, you can actually manifest what you don't want, right? And now looking back, I could see why certain things may have come into my life because of what I have done.
Yes. It's so true, because it's that awareness that we're doing it. So it's like, if we can bring our consciousness to that, to be like, oh, right, that's ego. But like, as we were speaking about earlier, like when we say like, I'm trying to think of an example. So say like someone's like walking down the road and then somebody says something about that person, then we know that, oh, that's definitely ego that we've just said that with. But then when we tell a story about something that we did nice, we don't realise that's actually ego as well, because it's like we need that reaction from somebody to say like, oh, look what she done, that's really nice. So we're saying it from that, but to us we think, oh no, that we're saying that from the place of our heart. We're not doing it for the ego reason, but actually that is ego. So like we says, doing the firewalk brought so many awarenesses to us from walking across and learning, like just go across with no intention whatsoever and see where you get. And it's like, as soon as you like get to the other side and you're like, did it then you know. So if anybody hasn't done a firewalk, you need to do a firewalk. It teaches you a lot. But there's a disclaimer that don't do a firewalk. So what's your views on the ego, because you also did the firewalk with us?
I think, as Priti said, we need to manage our ego, because I think as soon as we have the needs, there is an ego.
Yeah.
And needs are part of a human experience. We know also there are 6 basic human needs: certainty, variety, love, contributions. So there are a lot. And in my experience, for example, in the past, I used to write it down, my intention. For example, I want to be a successful coach, right? And then when I was analyzing my wish, my intention from an ego perspective, I realized, I want to be successful coach because I want the people recognize my value. I want to feel important with someone else. So all the behind analyzing my goal, my wish, I could see, this, I'm coming from a space of ego. I want to be affirm. Okay, that people look at me and say, wow, she's successful, but I'm coming from my ego. So when you analyze that and you say, okay, now we can manage, because I cannot cancel. As I say, as soon as we have a needs, we have an ego. So, but we can manage. We can, took a step back and see, okay, how can I see this not coming from a place of ego, but from a place more connection for everybody, from love.
But would I be right in saying that in the beginning, we have to kind of have them, not attachments as such, but we have to want them needs in the beginning, because that's what's like thriving us. Although we have to be aware of the ego when it's popping up, to like not have the attachment to it. But as us living that human experience, we have to have them needs, you know, like we have to like learn it, live it, give it. So we have to experience it first. So you have to have that want for the money, for the love, for this, to then have it, to then be like, right, take a step back. Because how can we like let go of something that we've never had? So if we've never had that like $1 million, how can we just detach from it? Because we've never had it. We have to have that kind of want for it, to strive to get it, to then be able to be like, right, I've had all this money now, right, with all this money now, what am I going to do? I've lived the life, I've got the car, I've got the house, whatever I wanted, right, still something's missing. So then we're going to contribute then to be like, right, I need to distribute this money, we need to help people who need it, to then be able to be like, well, I don't need it anymore.
Well, that's very much like Master's story, isn't
yeah,
it?
you have to have the experience of everything first, don't you, before you can fully let go. It's a journey.
It is a journey, and it's a journey of polarities. You know, you can't have one thing without the other. Everything is two sides of the same coin, so they're connected. But one, you just can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
And I love what you're saying, because the one thing that's really stuck with me, what Acharya said to us, is that ego is false identification with self. So, you know, it's not about denying the ego, because we are here, we are in this human body, we are living this human life. We're not in an ashram like I have been, like sat, you know, meditating all day. We're here living, doing this. And it is our job to use the ego, to use the mind. And it is just about observing it, being aware of it, which comes with practice. But once you do that, you see more and more.
Yeah.
And then you realize how we do sometimes manifest through ego, and how we will manifest things but then end up not happy. Like if you're trying to manifest money or whatever, it's part of the journey, but you are manifesting it through conditioning, because, you know, we're painted this picture of what life should be, what we should achieve. That's what we strive for. And for some of us, we achieve that, and then we're like, well, then what?
It's so true.
It's all a journey.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful journey actually, because we learn so much about ourselves during this process. Like, you've been here for 3 months, and like I can see the change in all of you from when we first met, because obviously Pretty I've known the longest, because we did the 108 journey together, and the transformation that we can see in you from then to now has been amazing.
Thank you.
So it's like, you know, this is just a beautiful journey, and we just have to embrace all of it, whether it's like the challenges are coming. We thank the challenges, because without a challenge, imagine a life with no challenges. It's a life without growth.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
I didn't actually appreciate that till I came here, because I've always had that mindset, and I'm sure people out there probably of the same mentality, right? Where I used to always think I have to fight my way through something. Things don't come easy to me. You know, I'm not the lucky one, because, you know, a normal person will go from A to B. I'll have to go from F to Z, Y, and then go to B, you know? But actually, I'm grateful now, because I realized by me going such a long-winded way, I've learned so much, and so much has come my way. I've got so much more experience. So now I am actually grateful for challenges, because now I understand through challenges you grow. When that was actually mentioned to me, being here and actually seeing it, because obviously things have been very challenging here. You know, holding the asses for one example.
Charangas.
No, let's not talk about that right now. But yeah, it's been like a huge, you know, realization. And you're right. Through challenges, you have huge growth. So we should appreciate that, and also live a human life. You know, appreciate everything that comes in. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
So true, because I remember when I used to be, before, I would like why am I having all these challenges? You know, like when I wasn't so like educated on this, it was like, oh, why am I having this challenge? Why? And it's like now a challenge comes, I'm literally like, what do I need to learn? I always ask that question now, like, what are you trying to show me? What is it that I need to learn from this experience? Because I know that every time that comes, there's something I need to learn. And it's like, since I've looked at it from that, the challenge just passes by. It does just go, like, I'm not stuck in the problem. I'm like, right, there's a solution, so what do I need to do? And that's it. And it's like the challenge just passes by, like you know it's there, but you're not affected. And that's
step almost.
Yes,
you know, it's there because that's my way to upgrade, that's my way to get higher. And the moment you do, I know that a bigger challenge is going to come. And they do get bigger and bigger, but that means you're accelerating more and more and more.
Exactly. And it's like
beautiful.
it's just a beautiful experience, which leads us on to the third point, which is surrender. Because obviously, how many times have we like, I'm surrendered, I've done it, and then you're like, the universe will throw you the curveball. No, you haven't. So it's like I think surrender is quite the most challenging, the most one that you will learn on the journey, is to actually fully surrender and be in the present. Because actually, when you're in the present, like there's no mistakes made when you're actually in the present, because you're not thinking about the past, you're not thinking about the future, you're right here now. And there's no chaos there. If you're actually in the present, the chaos is not there. It's only from the past and the future that the chaos comes. Yeah. And it's so mad. When I learnt that, I was like, okay, it's like a light bulb went off. Ching. So I bet you've had to learn a lot of surrender as well since you've been here.
I think that's been one of my biggest things, because I was like, I'm going to surrender when I come, and I was just like, I've surrendered, no. So I can totally relate to what you're saying. But I think also, I don't know whether you guys agree with me on this or not, but surrendering is such a huge topic, you know, and it's so big. And people think, I could surrender like that. Well, actually, because we're growing all the time, your surrendering kind of amount kind of like increases, or it changes, or it shifts to some extent.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, I've come to realize that so I've surrendered not being at home. I've surrendered with the business going the way it is going, you know, working, putting my heart and soul here. But then at the same time, have I really surrendered? Because I'm still looking backwards, you know, and I think every time you try to surrender, and I think you get closer and closer to it.
Yes.
You know, for me, before I found it very frustrating because I couldn't understand the balance between the two. And I think now I've come to understand that actually sometimes things just is, and you just have to accept it. And I think mainly for me, it's the trust. If you have unshakable trust, then it doesn't matter, does it really?
It's so true, because this is what, like, I used to say to myself, you know, like when you believe like 100% that you're protected, like on this journey, like I have that, like there's no one could come in and break that trust, because like I'm 100%, no matter what happens, I know that I'm guided, I'm protected, I know that like 100%. So it's like, since that was my mindset, things have changed like rapid for me, like because me with my journey I moved from Birmingham to Lincoln because I was offered a position on the team, which I'm so grateful for. Thank you, Master. And literally I left my whole family behind at that time, because it was like the opportunity port was there. I had to go, and I felt that I have to go. So it's like, although I had to leave my family behind temporarily till that they could move here, I knew that I had to do it, and that was a big choice for me to have to leave the family behind to come here, because you know, there was a lot of stigma around that, like, you know, how can but I knew what I was doing it for, because I'm not thinking like now, right, they have to be left behind for now. I'm thinking of down the line, right, this is what we're doing it for, this is all the benefits for this, you know, for the growth, for the serving people, for this, that was greater than what I had to do right now. And you know, I think for the viewers as well, like we have to try and get into this mindset that like this bit here is temporary, you know, think of like the long term, like this is the goal that we're going for. So, you know, and this is how we make these big decisions in life, you know. Like, don't think of like what you can see now, think of the what's to come once you've passed that challenge. So, and that was surrendering. I just surrendered and be like, right, I need to be there, so let's go. I think that's the first time I actually probably fully surrendered in my whole life, and I'm like, oh, that's how we do it. But it's still a learning curve.
Yes.
You know, like there'll be another time when I'm really attached to something, and it's a bit harder to surrender now. Like I really want this, and you, like you said yourself, it's a lot harder when sometimes there's things you can detach from, and there's things you're still attached to. So it's a constant journey that we'll learn till we actually leave this world.
Yeah.
You know, it's forever journey.
It's a beautiful journey, though.
Beautiful
isn't it?
forever journey.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one of the things that I experienced with Alicia is when I was going through this really big, chaotic moment of being here, because I was just like, things aren't working out. You know, I'm really struggling with this. And I don't get it, because, you know, my whole life just shifted, and I was doing things that was so out of my comfort zone. And I remember Alicia, because obviously me and Alicia were staying together, and she was like, Preeti, you just need to trust. And you just need to let go. And I was looking at her thinking, I am letting go.
I am.
But yeah, she really made me understand, you know, how your mind and how you feel actually connects. And one of the things that she said to me so nicely, and that really now is where I take to move forward, is always come from a place of love.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Love and gratitude. And it's like, you can never feel sadness and gratitude at the same time. The brain just can't register both at the same time. So the more we put ourselves in that gratitude state of mind, the more we allow our manifestations to come, because then the ego isn't there. Well, it will always be there, but it's settled. You know, the letting go is there, the surrender is there. And like, these are the practices that we need to just take through our daily life and put in there every day. Like every day, I remember this saying that every day you go to war with your mind.
Oh, I like that.
Every day you go to war with your mind, and it's so true, because we do every day.
Yeah.
That ego's there, we have to settle it. It's our conscious mind that will settle it. So it's like, because we're aware of it, we've got that awareness. So the more we do that every day, the more it starts to settle and settle and settle.
I like that.
So yeah,
I'm going to write that in my quotation book.
write that down. Yeah. And another quote that I always love, which is one of my favourite ones as well, is life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. So if you got any value from this at all, please let us know in the comments below. So also hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notifications bell. And that's it from us, and we'll see you in another episode of The Creators Show. Namo Himalaya.
Namo Himalaya.